Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I once again answer some of your questions like, should you melt this Rolex? And would I rather wear a Vacheron or Patek? All that and more in today's episode. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the Breguet Marine previous generation Big Date. Everybody knows, one of my favorite watches of all time. And also, guys, don't forget to check out DelReyWatch.com. A bunch of cool watches have come in stock, including the Mad 1 Slim with the blue dial. This is MB&F's kind of ode to collectors. No crazy prices here, and the Slim version is a lot more wearable than the original. We also got in one of my favorite watches of all time that I actually own, and that is a Moser Pioneer. Full box, full papers, beautiful blue fume dial, and for the first time ever, under $10,000. And if you want something a little more neo-vintage, something classic, something for every day, we got an Omega Seamaster Bond from 1994. The quartz version, the same one Brosnan wore in the movies. Absolutely killer. All that and way more at DelReyWatch.com, the best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. Anyway, guys, you know how it works. These are the questions you ask me on my Instagram account at Federico Talks Watches. A few times a month, the Q&A picture pops up. You can ask your question there. When I get enough questions, I take the picture down. Please do not DM me. I do not check them, and in no particular order. We start with Jack. And he says, "Hey Fed, what watch have you been wearing the most?" Well, this is actually pretty funny. When I read this question, I couldn't believe the answer, but it's absolutely true. And that is the Tissot PRX. Now, why is that? Let me explain. So, obviously, I have an office here with high security safes, and I keep my watch collection in the safe in the office. Now, I wear nice watches when I'm in the office, meeting clients, going to meetings, yada, yada, yada. But when the day's over and I'm going home, I tend to take off my watch, put it in the safe. Yes, weekends I'll take one or two home with me. But the PRX is one of the watches I have laying around my house because it's super cool looking. I love it, but more importantly, it's not particularly expensive, so if it gets stolen, no harm, no foul. So whenever I'm at home, I'm kind of wearing the PRX. If I have to step out of the house to go to the supermarket or just grab a quick bite to eat or whatever, I wear the PRX. So the PRX is the watch I wear the most out of default, simply because it's technically the watch I have the most access to. Pretty interesting. I bet you guys thought you wouldn't hear that as the answer. John.Pan. "Hey Fed, do you think Rolex's new movement escapement is better than Omega's coaxial and overall performance?" John, I wish I could answer this question, but I don't think anybody can just yet, as it was just released. The coaxial movement, very, very interesting, but arguably hasn't really increased performance all that much. Some say not performance, but service intervals have been increased, but that is debatable. Time will tell on Rolex's new movement. It looks promising. It looks quite innovative, but we're going to need a few years of data and real life accounts to see how it actually holds up. So the unfortunate answer to your question is I don't know, and I don't think anybody does yet. Watch It Too. "Hey Fed, I have a Rolex Full Gold Yachtmaster 2007, which is hard to sell. Should I sell the complete watch or melt the gold and sell the movement? Honest question." Well, gold... Okay, let me start off by saying yes, it is a hard watch to sell, not particularly desirable, even though I do like it. Gold is at all-time highs, or it was a few days ago, to the point where I myself scrapped 4 watches from Del Rey's inventory because they've been sitting around quite long and I could get my money back or even made a profit. In fact, I made about $3,000 on $40,000 of scrap. So yeah, I totally get the question. This is a tough one. I would think generally most Rolexes, and I think this one too, are worth more than scrap plus movement. I think most dealers should give you more than scrap plus movement. But to really figure it out, you should decase the watch and kind of weigh the gold only, minus 3.5 grams for the crystal, and then you'll have the answer. I don't suggest doing this yourself. It's not easy. I mean, it is easy, but you need experience in decasing. If you have a jeweler friend, you'll get the answer right away. But I also think you might be underestimating how much the movement and spacer weighs. I would say it's easily about 25 grams. I don't know on this particular model. I'm just generalizing. But generally, I don't think this is a scrap watch. I think you should be able to get more. But I could be wrong, and you should keep an eye on gold. Quick Draw McGraw. Hey, Fed, would you rather own a Vacheron or a Patek? I sometimes think my Breguet is a better value proposition than a Patek. Well, for me, it's not really the brand Vacheron versus Patek. I go more on a watch-to-watch basis. Like, I'd rather wear an Overseas than a Nautilus, but I'd rather wear a Calatrava than a Patrimony. That's just my taste. Overall, I think I generally like Patek Philippe more than Vacheron Constantin, watch per watch. The quality of both brands is very, very similar. Maybe Patek is slightly higher quality on their lower end stuff than Vacheron's lower end stuff, but generally very, very similar. But as you said, you prefer the Breguet, and the truth is I prefer Breguet as well. Much better value for money, and the design aesthetic speaks to me more. But for me, I mean, I guess if you forced me, I would pick Patek Philippe, but it's just really on a watch per watch basis. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Please give this video a thumbs up if it helped. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.